The day I never forget. I never forget this day, man. My mother had surgery. She had surgery on her knee. She was out of commission. She was out of commission for maybe like 2 or 3 months. She was out of commission, and she, you know, she didn't have any way to pay the bills. She rounded up all my uncles. They were in the house one day. You know, they were actually in the back room, and I was kind of like peeping around the corner. She sat down, like, you know, with his knee brace on the knee. And, you know, she asked my uncle, like, with tears in her eyes, and she asked my uncle and my stepfather, and it was just like, you know, I'm running low on money, you know what I'm saying? I'm in jeopardy. Like, it's a chance that I may lose my home, I may lose my house. In that moment, changed my whole entire life. It changed who I was. It changed who I was doing it for. Everything about that moment and that time in my life changed. And literally 2 months after that, God answered my prayers. I'm thankful for Khaled, man. I'm thankful for, you know, God placed him in my path, man, to be able to, you know, not only grow with him, but work with him and become not only a friend, but a business partner. I learned a lot from him, man. I learned a lot from him. And still to this day, I'm continuing to learn. You know, there's a lot of devils, there's a lot of enemies. You know, when you do have success, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of people who want you to fail. You know, there's a lot of people who don't want you to be in these type of positions, to be able to provide for your family. I was always doubting in anything, doing anything, but I believed in my heart that I could be something huge, that I know that I could be something big in this music industry. And it's one thing that I would always tell all my homies or a friend of mine, that I just felt like I had the biggest dreams on the block. You know, my grandmother would say, take care of your mama, take care of mama, take care of one another, take care of one another. My girl, she was due to have twins. They ended up coming a little early. They were intensive care. They were something they call NICU in the Carolinas, and I would go visit them whenever I could go visit them. One of my daughters would came out I think with like 3 pounds. All the news that I would be getting, it would be some good news, and then turn right back around. As soon as I get a phone call about good news, I would get a phone call about bad news. The doctor was running all these tests. They had all these tubes, and I never forget. You know, I asked the doctor, I was just like, why are all these tubes hooked up to my daughter? What are these tubes? I went freaking out because I didn't understand. I'm like, why are all these tubes hooked up to her? You know, she just had so many problems. The hardest decision by far of my life, the hardest decision ever. The hardest decision of my life was deciding to say, okay, so Mr. McAllister, Mrs. Surratt, how do you tell a father or a mother or whatever that you have to take their child off of life support? I don't understand it. I never understood. You know, but
her in the bed and wait for her dad to get home.
God does everything for a reason. Everything He's done to this point was for a reason. My daughter Sailor is special. She's special. She's intelligent. You know, she's everything, man, a father could ever want. She's bubbly, man. She's beautiful.
Good morning, Sailor.
She's beautiful.
Good morning.
And by him leaving her here was a sign of just allowing me to understand how things kind of work.
Say.
I wanted to be a connection between my fans, man. I think I deserve that, man. I've worked hard enough for it. The type of music that I create is not your normal body of work. these substance type of records, they're more appreciated. You know, and with trials and tribulations, I just pray that it's appreciated. Trials and tribulations will last forever. Forever. I promise you that. I promise you that.